And welcome everybody back to another edition, to another season, to another blazing edition of the Blitz with Dontay Evans. I'm your host, baby, Dontay E, baby, with the E and a dot at the end. And you know who I got next to me, man? You see him right over there, my main man over here. What's going on, Mr. Bo Adams? You came back for season number 2. What's going on with you, baby?
Living large and in charge, my brother. Yeah,
That's what I'm
I'm excited about this new season. I tell everybody, as I always say, hold on to your seatbelt, Doc, and get ready for this ride, because it's going to be a ride this year. You
Get
know,
your popcorn ready, man. Get your popcorn
get ready.
ready.
I'm excited. I don't know about you.
Been living. We had a month off since we last talked. We had the Super Bowl, which we gonna jump from that into the draft here in a second. How you been living, man? What's been going on with you?
Hey, man, I mean, like I say, with the Super Bowl and everything that I predicted what was going to happen, I'm feeling
No, I
pretty.
look. You got to it before I did. I'm gonna give you your props, Doc. But you want to go ahead and jump the gun. Go ahead, just get your shine right. You win it. That Hawks is go win and did their thing, man. I got to give you your props too on that one, man. You did your thing.
And I'm feeling pretty good, from starting this year. I mean,
You should.
I think the team that I'm excited about is going to be okay. I
Okay.
think the Cowboys, for one, is going to make. We hoping to make a change, and at least make the playoffs. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and try to do something a little different this year. I like the coach. You know what I mean? He did better than what I thought he was going to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited about him. So I'm looking forward to a new season. You know what I mean? And I don't know about you, man, but I'm pumped up for a 65-year-old. I'm pumped up.
Hey, to be 65, you're looking good, Doc. I gotta, man. You know what they say, man. You told me too right before the show. Black don't crack. So, hey, push, man. Whatever you do, keep pushing.
Keep on doing it, huh? Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
go,
I'm just
man.
excited, man. And thank you for having me on the show, brother Evans. Hey, I wouldn't be here without you, so I appreciate you bringing me on. Listen to what I have to say. You know what I mean? So it's to me that's a blessing. So I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you, my brother. So just keep doing
Nah,
what you're doing, man. And you're gonna get your props too as well.
appreciate that, Mr. Adams. I appreciate it, man. We got a lot of great things lined up this season. Some stuff that I wanted to try last season that we just ran up against the time. But man, I got a lot of great things, a lot of great feedback about season 1 as well. So we're going to see some new additions, some new things, some new faces as well are going to be joining us on the show throughout the season, man. This is going to be a fun season. So y'all make sure y'all rock with us. Right now, you can hit us up on YouTube, catch the clips, catch all the videos, all the podcasts, the shorts, and everything. Also, catch us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and also on X and TikTok, man. We are everywhere. The
Right.
Blitz with E. So make sure you check it out, man. Find the link. And as you see down there in the corner, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us everywhere you go so you can get the latest news. And we always keep you laced up with all the latest and greatest news. All right, let's get this season started, man. Let's get it started. Let's get into this draft, man, and what we got cooking up for this draft. So this upcoming draft, we got the number one seed, or should I say the top pick going to the Las Vegas Raiders. And we know who all that they are picking at this point, unless something just kind of blows us away and they just kind of, do something completely off base and different. We expect Fernando Mendoza to go ahead and be that guy. Is that the right choice for him?
Oh yeah, I believe that's the right choice for him. Because by them bringing in Kirk Cousins as the number one starter right now, it'll help Mendoza
Mm-hmm.
in order for him to be able to develop into the quarterback that he needs to be. Because I don't have no doubt that he have the grit and the what you would say he's ready to to me perform like he did in that championship game. You see what I mean? Because when he played against Miami, he let everybody know he just wasn't another pretty face. You know,
Yep.
he was ready.
Sure
He
did.
was ready. So I mean, and he took them to that championship because
Yeah.
Miami didn't give it to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he took
Tough
them.
game. Easy about that game. He took some lumps
He
and
took
bruises, so
them.
it
He
sure
impressed me.
did.
I mean, I don't know about you, D, but he impressed me
His
enough.
toughness is authentic, and that's what I love about him. He's very authentic in the way he plays, in the way he speaks, in the way he goes about his business on and off the field. So I completely respect what he does on both sides, man.
And that's why I say I believe that they're going, and then his character, by his mom with the with the MI, that muscular dystrophy, where she's, in the way he treats her and the way he treats his family, that goes a long way because he's humble. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Humble young man, he's very respectful, but he's a grinder. And at the end of the day, don't let all that fool you. He's still a football player
Yep.
at the end of the day. So to me, I think the Raiders can't go wrong because they need somebody. They need a face, D. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to be that face for them, you know,
Yep.
to
And
me.
it's such a contrast to what we're used to seeing with the Raiders.
Hmm.
Somebody of that type of character at the helm for the Raiders, right? And when you're talking about somebody who has that type of character, look at the backup. Let's talk about the backup that they got for that man and Kirk Cousins. I mean, to me, they are one and the same. Kirk Cousins is, what Fernando Mendoza from a character standpoint
Hmm.
when you have somebody like that who is it was very similar to you in nature, there to mentor you, especially at this early stage of your career. And then you got Tom Brady at the
Yeah.
very top thing, man. Clint Kubiak, who is a brilliant mind at head coach. I think that was a great hire for him. Coming over from Seattle, the Super Bowl winning Seattle Seahawks that you predicted correctly. Let me throw that in there. And then they made some other moves, the Raiders did in the free agency period. And so, man, when we start talking about the Raiders and what they can do coming out of this draft, what they did in free agency, and what they could be just coming out of this first year, I think that they can make some serious noise. I'm not saying play anything like that, but what I am saying is that they will be a tough out for anybody who is contending for that wild card spot, some of those last spots in the playoffs. But I see the Raiders have a good outlook on the horizon for them.
I agree 100% with you because last year, I just believe that they just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They was a step too slow with Gino and the coach and all these things. To me, they just wanted somebody because they just got this organization started, so they just wanted to get some kind of coach and quarterback in place. But now look like they know where they want to go and they know what they want to do. Like you say, it's a totally different Raider organization now. With that young coach, because he's gonna help Mendoza and he's gonna help Cousin. You know what I mean? They already had a running back. They already had a tight end. You know what I mean?
They got some pieces in place, Doc. I mean, that's why I say. I mean, you got who was it? Mason Crosby, Max Crosby, Max Crosby, who stayed as well, and that was a whole weird situation that happened too with Baltimore. We need to get into that at some point too, but that was a weird situation. But that I think that was a blessing in disguise for Max Crosby because if he ends up staying and they end up going on some type of little run to make it to the playoffs. I think that keeps him there for the next few years, and it gives him hope and the rest of Raiders Nation some hope that man, this thing ain't always gonna be bad, man. Like we ain't always bad and terrible. Like sometimes it has to change, and I think that this year you start to see that tide turn just a little bit for the Raiders, man. And I'm happy for him. And
Yeah, no, you're right because Maxie, he's a beast.
yeah,
You know what I
yep.
mean? That motor goes 100% every down. He don't take off for nothing. So just like you say about him staying there, it's gonna help the organization. I believe. I predict. I'm not gonna say, but I'll say he's from 8-8 to about 9-9. I believe somewhere in there.
I'm right there with you. I'm thinking like maybe like 500 type
Yeah,
record, maybe
yeah,
9-8 record or something like that, 8-9, somewhere in that area. That because there's some pieces there, man. And this, I'm a firm believer. When you get an offensive mind like you did with Clint Kubiak, to me, he is on that level of a Sean McVay of my guy out there in San Fran. And so when that type of coach, they will take you places and they'll show you some things in that first year. If they get the right pieces in place, man, they can have fun with it. And you saw that with Ben Johnson with the Chicago Bears and what they did, going from what they did with that terrible coach, and then coming over to Ben Johnson and saying, "Hey, let me take over this offense. We got some nice pieces in place. Let's do some things in this draft. Let's get some people out of free agency." And then they flipped the switch, and then they ended up in the second round. Now they lost in the second
Yeah.
round. So
Yeah.
that had to throw that in there. That's to get a turnaround like that just off of the sheer back of a coach
Yeah.
coming in,
Yeah.
coach, an offensive minded coach that knows what he's doing, that knows how to play call. It makes a huge difference. So I think that Clint Kubiak will do the same for Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, but I believe you. I agree with you 100%, Doc. What you think about number 2, the pick?
The Jets, man, look, the Jets got a whole lot that they got to fix, right? A lot. And they clean house, during this offseason and pretty much got rid of everybody. To me, you have a defensive head coach. Your quarterback is, who is the quarterback? It's Gino.
Yeah. You know, yeah,
Fernando Mendoza, there's Ty Simpson, and that's going to be a development project. And to me, he has to go to an offensive coach, an offensive minded coach, because if he goes to a defensive coach, to me, it's not something that can sustain for a long time. I
yeah,
think that you see those type of situations very quickly between the coach, the player, and the GM, because simply the puzzle pieces don't fit. Now with the Jets, go defense. Let's
yeah.
get your defense in order. If you get a good defense, a deep defense that can keep you in games, man, the offense stuff, you can get an offensive coordinator. You can go get free agents out there next year, but build that defense. And you're starting fresh, man. You're stripping it down to the studs. Start building inside out. And I'm a firm believer building inside out. Start with your offensive and defensive line. Those are
Yeah.
going to be your, and if you can get those type of players, man, or a second level player, edge rusher or a linebacker or somebody that can be a leader, a defense. Start that process early. Be a Fred Warner type player. That's what they need, and that's what they get.
I believe that guy from Ohio State style.
Yeah, Sonny Styles.
He would be like Fred Warner to me. You know what I mean, D?
Exactly, man. I'm right there with you. Him or who is it? Arvell Reese.
Okay. Yeah.
Either, man, either one of them are really good. And the thing is, like, if you try to go out and go overreach for a quarterback or somebody on the offensive side, to me, you just set your organization back another 5 years. Like every time you miss in one of these drafts, you set your organization back a couple of years, a few years. And bad teams that just do it over and over and over and they overlap each other, man, what are we doing? What are we
But
doing? So they don't pick an offensive player. I hope that they do go for one of these Ohio State players and start solidifying and making that defense something that can be respected. Right now, it's not.
well, just like you made a perfectly good point about going backwards when they got that guy from Pittsburgh, the quarterback. They didn't hit on him. And then, like you say, it done set him back at least 3, 4 years because now you gave for 2 years deal, and he didn't do anything with it. Now you're back at square one. So
And there's no backs that are coming out in this draft. So guess what, Doc? You just missed out this year. Now you got to work on everything else. And the main piece that you need, which is a quarterback, you can't even get until possibly next year. We don't even know what that class is looking like. It's going to be a better class than this one, but to
yeah,
me, you don't really know what you got until that year comes about. So Jets,
to me, Doc, none of these quarterbacks looks like starters. Even the next draft, you know what I mean, D? They don't look like coming just going out there, starting. They're gonna need some development. Like Manning and that guy from Oregon, they're gonna need some development. You know what I'm saying? So it's
right
just,
there with
I mean, it really don't. It's not no quarterback fest to me.
yeah, yep. Normally, in other seasons, we've seen that, right? We've seen in the draft like very offensive heavy. You got 3 or 4 quarterbacks that could possibly go in the first round, top of the second round. But this
Mm.
one, I think once you get past Ty Simpson, I mean, the list of quarterbacks that even come top of mind wouldn't probably come until maybe the fourth round, third round. To me, not a lot of people would be taking a quarterback. And
Yeah,
I don't even it's not a lot that can really use one right now with some of the needs that they already have. I think like Miami. Miami, even though they got rid of they were free agency and got one. The Cardinals, they'll end up needing a quarterback. That's
yeah,
another one. It's a few teams, man. Browns, we didn't know what their quarterback situation was going to be, but now we see that Sanders got a pretty healthy shot to start next year.
yeah. And even talking about what's his name coming back? You know, the one that
Yeah,
got hurt from Houston.
talking about
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson. Yeah, he's coming back. That quarterback room is full, and that's why I say there's not a lot of teams that really have a quarterback need, which is great. But the ones that do are the same teams that you see there
hmm You're
every
right.
single year.
Okay, I want to ask you about Love before we go though.
Yeah, let's talk because that's a special player, man. That is a special player. I mean, do you think he's gonna go to the Titans as everybody is projecting at number 4?
If I was the Titans, I think because it helped the quarterback, the running game, it just helped the whole offense scenario, especially with that guy going from New York. That offensive.
Brian Dable. Yep,
Yeah.
I love that. I think that is going to jumpstart that offense.
So I mean, like you say, Brian Dable, he might not have been damn good as a coach, but he always been a good offensive, coordinator. So you got to give him his props as well. You
Yep.
know, and so
Yeah.
I believe with Robert Sala's coming back, he can see what he did with the Jets that'll make him a little open minded with this Titan team and what what he's lacking. And to me, I think they already got the quarterback, so just get your running game now. Just kind of open things up so it won't be so much on that quarterback. You know what I mean, D?
Yep. I love an experienced coaching staff that is not too old, not too young. They're kind of right there in the middle and not, you know, these two guys, and it's really the whole coaching staff, but those two guys in particular, I didn't like Brian Dable as head coach over there in New York. I don't think he did a great job as head coach. But like you said, some guys do better at coordinators than they are as head coaches. And so Robert Solomon, I think he got a bad shake over there with the Jets. You see how
Yeah.
terrible year out. You see the bad shape that McVay is getting over there right now and getting the business. Thank God he was able to stay. But to me, Robert Sala got a bad shape. Luckily, he went to the 49ers, got the Barons back. Did some that made something out of nothing with that defense that they had over there. And coming over here to the Titans, it's something about this coaching squad, this team, man, that they get love and the type of player that guy can be. Because I see him being like a Todd Gurley. I don't know
Mhm.
about you, but he can be as special as Todd Gurley. And Todd Gurley, his first and second season was special.
I believe you're right because he can run, he can catch, he can block, he can do all of it. So, it's just not like, you know, he's more like that guy too, like from San Francisco.
Yeah. Which talking about Christian McCaffrey? Yeah.
Yeah, because he can catch, he can run. But to me, I think he's just a little faster and stronger because he's younger now. You see
Bingo.
what I mean? So
Bingo. He is.
he's got that it factor.
Yep.
You see?
And the character is there, Doc. I love his character. He's a humble young man. He's right. Raised by some great parents. When your character is there, the talent is there, and the hunger is there, the competitiveness is there. Man, I've heard many a story leading up to the draft about this guy, this the competitive nature that he has. It's like you flip a switch with very quiet, very quiet. But when you flip that switch, it's like all bets are off. So I think that if the Titans do pass on him and somebody else, man, I'm gonna just because that's gonna be an opportunity to help him. And to me, I don't know who their receivers are over there with the Titans right now, but if you have a quarterback and a running back pair, you can throw some receivers,
Yeah,
man. Receivers diamond, but
yeah,
special running backs like Jeremiah Love, like you saw with Zeke Elliott, Bijan Robinson, some of these guys, Christian McCaffrey, some of these guys who have been drafted, that is what you're going to be missing out on. regrettable offense for this. If there was any reason to get rid of him, for that very reason. So the GM and all of them connected at the hip and saying, I don't give a damn what happens. We need to go get this guy.
Yeah. Like I said, because if they don't, the Giants and the Redskins gonna be waiting because they're 5-6.
Yeah.
So if they
The
don't,
Giants, the Giants got a little bit of a different need because the Giants they got their quarterback, they got their running back, and they got their receiver. They got Neighbors, they got Scatterboo, and they got Jackson Dart. To me, you're missing a tight. You don't need a good tight end.
and what about Washington?
Washington, man, they
Because
got to
you got
come
no
be a
running
little
back.
better because what they showed last year,
No running back though. You know what I mean?
it was old last year. That's what that was. It was old. And in
That's why I think
football, you cannot get old. That's the one. That's the one sport you can't get fast is football. You start getting old in football, man. That team gonna start struggling real bad.
they went after Raiders.
Yeah, yeah. Ask the Raiders, man. You get old, guys. You got to stay young. And to me, you're not getting younger. You're doing yourself a disservice. So
I believe
let me ask you, man. What about your Cowboys? They got some needs, but I'm gonna tell you, man. You're on the fringe. You right there on you teetering on that playoff line right there. So, God,
I think we're gonna make the playoff this year. B. I believe our receiver core is gonna be the difference of you know what I mean? And then we have a legit running back. I mean, and then the tight end is pretty good. So I believe if we could just stay healthy and pick up a couple of defensive players, that's all we need is pick up a couple of them. You know,
yep.
defensive backs, somebody on, defensive tackle, maybe a linebacker.
You
Somebody that's
definitely
gonna
need a
help us.
linebacker, somebody that can entertain. But you sure up that piece, man.
Yeah,
Because you got Quentin Williams, and to me, that is your anchor right there, hands down, right on that defensive line. Quentin Williams, the linebacker spot, you got to shore that up, and then you got to shore up the cornerback spot. You got some decent corners, but we know how shaky that situation is. They let go of Tate Diggs last year, and how that situation went down. But you need some help on that side of the ball. That is what Jerry Jones did all the willing to dealing for last year when they let go of Michael Parsons. So he's got to have a good draft, and
but
they've
they
got
say
to come out saying with some defensive players because you come out with some defensive firepower, not man, and you change your defensive coordinator. Let's not forget about that as well. And so to me, Doc is simmering right now for the Cowboys. It ain't quite cooked yet.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I smell what Martin Lawrence said. I smell the aroma. The aroma, Doc. That's what I'm smelling. You know.
Yep. Yep. But you gotta pull the trigger, man. And I can see the Cowboys making a trade to hop into that top 10. Uh,
Yeah.
go ahead and get somebody high like that. So
What you say that cornerback from Tennessee? They're looking at him.
yeah. Yep.
You
To
know.
me, you got a few people that you can take a look at and possibly go get, but you gotta also take care of George Pickens. Let's not forget about that. You don't want that man to sit out. If he sits out, Doc, then it might be a lot tougher than what we're talking about right now because see him laugh.
Now we've been down that road before. You
Yeah.
know, with Lamb. Come on, Doc. We don't need that. We don't need that. That
Yep.
distraction. And then what happened? To Michael Parsons. I think that was the biggest distraction tailpoint that we ever had in Dallas. To
Yeah.
me, you know what I mean, Dean? And that really shook up the core
Yeah.
because you went from a number one whom you groomed from Penn State all this time, and then you let him walk out the door.
He wanted to stay, Doc. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay. But you couldn't put that pride aside. Pride will kill anybody.
I think both of them was wrong. Both of them, you know what I mean? Him and Jerry, with that pride, what you're talking about,
Yep.
it was hard
Yep.
for them to, go back with each other. But I'm like you, Doc. If we can just get a couple of pieces now, The
That
aroma.
smell it, taste the air, Doc, taste the air, boy. And I think you are right, man. That the kid out of Tennessee, uh, Jermon McCoy, I think is his name. Uh, he is a beast. And
Yeah.
even though he was injured last year with the whole ACL, I watched his highlights, and that dude he's nice, man. That is somebody that you want on your team because he can take away that side of the field. I think he's
Thank
that type of player.
And I think him nigga everything for and that's all we need is somebody that's willing to give 100%, D. So I'm
Absolutely.
excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited about my boys. And I'm telling you, we're gonna make the playoff. I believe I'm telling you now between 10-7 and I guess 11-6 is what I'm looking at this year.
If all the pieces fall into place.
We have everything we want to need. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because we was
Not
what
mad at that.
we was 8-8 last year.
You were right there around that 500 mark last year.
Yeah,
So not mad at that at all. What I will say is, and we got a whole offseason to get into these predictions. If the Cowboys can come out this draft with defense, and we say, man, we give them a B plus or an A
yeah,
in this draft, I'm gonna call it right now. Second round of the playoffs, divisional round for y'all. Second round, y'all. They
that's good. That's
People thought
good.
it was cool last year, man, because y'all got real close, and then y'all let me down, man, just like y'all do every.
You down.
So I think the sun got to shine on the dog's ass every night, and I think that this year, that's what it be for y'all, man.
Yep.
You got to get one.
But hey, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm saying to myself, to me, this got to be the year, D, because we haven't done anything last couple of years. Nothing.
Nothing, nothing, Doc.
Fans are getting frustrated. So Doc, they don't roam by.
Yeah,
So we got to pause, Doc. Well, I want to ask you something. What about your Rams, Doc?
talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Okay, what do you think what is the difference between this year's coming up and last year? To you, what is the difference that make you say they're gonna be in this? And you got to have a reason why you saying they're gonna win this thing. What's the difference?
All right, the number two, I'm gonna go number two. My number two reason why this year is gonna be different is because we got cornerbacks. We have a defensive back room that is competent, that can go make plays when they on front, full verse, this, and some of those guys up there, they can go make plays. The sack. The number one reason, Doc, is the motivation factor. They lost last year. We lost last year on our court. Seattle beat us fair and square. They went out, they took care of business, they won the Super Bowl. They did what they had to do in week 16 of the regular season when they beat us. All that being said, the Rams shot themselves in the foot on occasion, but the biggest two times it's that team against the Seattle Seahawks. One time at home and one time on the road.
Right.
Things up to me, you were head and shoulders better than them both of those games, but you let the game go. If that's not motivation, I don't know what is. And I really do see them being like 2013 Daniels first team. They lost to the Miami Heat, game six, crazy shot, Ray Allen, we all know. And game seven, they lost that. I thought the Spurs were done after that, man. You can't, everybody said you can't come back from a loss like that. You can't come back from in a situation like that. Pop was walking around in the streets, you know, the lonely and stuff. Bad around. It was bad in these streets around here that year. And that to me is pretty much how the Rams are feeling because that was your Super Bowl. You had the Super Bowl. If they get the Super Bowl, they demolished them. Just like the Seahawks did. I don't think it's any question about it. But you didn't take care of business at home. You didn't take care of business uh, in the NFC Championship. You were up 30-16.
Yeah. Okay, but I just want to say this to you. To me now, you got to remember, your quarterback is a year older. Okay, so to me that's
Hey, put respect on my guy's name first. He ain't just a quarterback. Doc. You got to put some respect on his name. That's the lead MVP, Doc. You better talk about it.
He's a year older though, Doc.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
And I say everybody, look, just like you know, hey, the Super Bowl is in SoFi. The other 32 teams know it too.
Yeah, they do. The NFC is going to be a gauntlet, man. We looked at some of those teams. A lot of these teams in the NFC, and it's completely different from the A.
Yep.
But you think about who you got to go through that, and how much better some of these teams have gotten in the NFC just through free agency. What they're going to do through the draft. There's at least 6 or 7 solid teams out of the NFC that can be run in the playoffs and possibly be without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep. Yep. So that's why I told you. To me, like you said, get your popcorn ready because this is going to be an interesting year, Doc. I think
Absolutely.
the best years that we ever had because NFC has improved. It's done flipped. AFC was the team, but now I believe it's coming out the NFC now because we already know Buffalo. We already know Buffalo and what's team Baltimore. We already had a pick, but in the NFC, it's about 6 or 7 teams that can win this thing, and you won't nod your head about it.
Yep. Exactly, man. And that's to me, that's what I love about the NFL. Every year, man, when it's 0-0 when we start this clock, man, it's 0-0. Everybody got a shot, but it's only a few elite teams that have a absolute chance to get. So those are the games that we get up for, man. And those are the games that we look forward to. This is why we love the NFL. You always got a shot. You ain't never out of it. And if you got a good GM, if you got a good head coach that can draft well, that can go get creative, go from worst to first. And we're gonna talk about worst to first in some of these upcoming episodes, but there's gonna be a team out there, maybe 1 or 2, that's worse in their division. It happens every year.
No, you're right. We're gonna really put this draft through, and then we can grade everybody. A couple of teams that we looking forward to doing something after this draft is done. Like you say, either a B, A, C. Then we'll be able to grade them and see what the performance look like. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be very important. You know,
Absolutely.
looking forward for this draft. I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward.
I'm ready for it, man. We've been missing football, for about a month and a half, almost 2 months now. So it's time to get back to something. Like I need a little something on TV. NBA playoffs to start, we got the Spurs here. If we finally back in it, man, we are finally back in
We're back.
football, man. I'll take NFL any day of the week. I'll watch the replay,
Yeah,
any day of the week just to get a little feel for it.
I'm with you, man. But like I said, I think what you talked about tonight was pretty good. From draft, from Cowboys, Rams, just the whole sequel that we're looking at this year on what we think is going to be the difference this whole year to me. And I got a good feeling. I got a secret that, that I believe that is going to be from this year. Do y'all really do?
Dude, man, I feel it in my bones, man. I feel it in my bones, and I feel a lot of things in my bones, but it's certain things I'm like, hey, that thing right there is real. I hope they're not fooling me again. I hope it's a real thing 'cause I want to see y'all. I want to see y'all be happy for a little bit and just smile a little bit. Y'all walk around here all doom and gloom when it comes. It's like going to the club with your homeboy. Your homeboy just lost his girl. Yeah, come on, baby, just pick yourself up, try to have a good time. Ain't nothing you can do about it, Doc.
Even if you don't love him.
You gotta show up for it, baby. Gotta show up. Hey, this is a wrap for episode number 1, man. As always, man, I appreciate you. I like you from the bottom of my heart, man. We're gonna have some fun this season. We started early and on time this season, so I can't wait to see where this thing goes.
God bless. Get your popcorn ready.
Get your popcorn ready, Doc. Hey,
Okay.
we'll catch y'all on the next time, man. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you, man.
All right.